Welcome to the PI Podcast, your destination for everything NFL, discussing the latest news and providing in-depth analysis of every NFL game. And now, here are your hosts, Ian and Tesh.
What's up, guys? Finally back for week 8 in the NFL. We missed the week 7. I was sick, so I definitely didn't get a chance to get live. Well, I tried to on Tuesday, but I definitely didn't get a chance because I was sick and then I had some other stuff I had to get going with. But we are finally back, and yeah, week 8 is here. Should be a fun one. Kirk Cousins is officially starting for the Falcons. We're going to be going over that game first, or well, first or last, I don't know. Well, we'll be going over that game, but Kirk Cousins is officially starting. Penix has a bone bruise in his knee, so he looked okay in practice. He looked good in practice. He was moving around, so I think this was just a precautionary measure, just to make sure he doesn't re-injure it. So I don't mind that. It's to be cautious with Penix's knee. So Kirk will be starting, and I'm totally okay with that. This isn't to say that he's gonna start the rest of the season. No, this is just because Penix started his knee. Penix will be the starter next week. So, and yeah, there's no question marks with that either. Rahimo has made it clear. Penix is our starter. Kirk is just playing because Penix is hurt. But yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see. I'll talk about that a little later. But it's been a good week of the NFL. We got a little things to talk about before we get into the game picks. Um, AJ Brown is out with a hamstring injury, so and he's still making cryptic messages on Instagram and Twitter and whatnot. So who knows where what happens with him? But there's a report going around that just came. The Eagles have no plans to trade AJ Brown, so most likely he won't get traded. But you never know in the NFL. If something happens where AJ Brown is like, oh, he just makes a conundrum of it and just makes a big deal out of it, he might get traded. But if he did want to get traded, he'd have to speak now because we are getting to the trade deadline in 11 days, or 10 days actually now. So yeah, he's gonna have to speak up if he wants to get traded. There's a lot of wide receiver needy teams, so AJ Brown would fit there. So yeah, that and the Chargers going beating the Vikings last night in dominating fashion. Carson Wentz was heavily injured. You saw that in the game. That Vikings O line is awful, as we all know, and to even put him behind that while injured is kind of messed up from Kevin O'Connell's side of things because if your quarterback is an injured left shoulder, injured ankle, and you still put him out there with the worst O line in the NFL, and you're going against the Chargers team that just got Khalil Mack back, you're asking your quarterback to get hurt again. And that's what happened. Carson Wentz is hurt bad, but they have a 10-day break period because they play on Thursday Night Football, and it's looking like JJ McCarthy is going to start next week and for the Vikings, and he'll be the starter for the rest of the way. So we'll see what happens with that. That's gonna be interesting. JJ McCarthy had one good quarter of football, and the rest of the time he did not look great. So that'll be good for him to get experience because he hasn't played football for the whole of last year, his rookie year, and he's only played one whole game of football this year. Well, technically two, but he got injured. One healthy game of football. And he didn't even practice last year, and at the beginning of this year too, he hasn't even had much practices after week 2 because of his injury. So he doesn't have very many practice times either. So it's really interesting about how he's gonna look. He just needs experience, and he's gonna have the rest of the season to do it. They just want him 100% healthy. And I get that you don't want to put him out there if he has a high ankle sprain and for him to re-injure it too quickly. So I get that. That team is tough, and unfortunately, they're wasting JJ's prime years of his career. gonna be interesting going forward. How JJ McCarthy looks. They do have a tough schedule. They play the Lions, in Detroit. They play a lot of tough teams. They play Green Bay. Their division is tough in general. They play the Bears as well. They play the Seahawks this year as well. Just a lot of good football teams that they play. Um, that the Vikings are gonna have to have some good games from JJ McCarthy, but it's still young. We're almost halfway through the season. We got week 9 is officially next week's officially halfway through the season, so there's some time left. We still got a whole uh, second half of football to watch, and this is where the NFL gets good. I mean, it's already been fun, but teams in their last 8 games this season, they really turned on. There's going to be some urgency from teams that are fighting for a wild card spot. There's going to be urgency from teams who are trying to fight for division. There's going to be really, really important games these last 8 weeks of the season. And it's went by quick. We're already halfway through the season, but we still got another half to go. So let's get to these game picks. Yeah, let's get these game picks. So first up, we got Chicago and Baltimore. Caleb Williams and the Bears are on a 4-game win streak right now, which is impressive because at the beginning of the year they weren't looking too hot, and they kind of messed up their Monday Night Football home opener to JJ McCarthy and the Vikings. So they were reeling from that, and they've been on a 4-game win streak ever since. And for this game, Lamar Jackson is out. Tyler Huntley is going to start again. And that's not a good thing if you're a Ravens fan, because if the Ravens drop to 1-6, I don't. They're not gonna. They could still win their division. Not really. It's a very hard because the Steelers just lost to the Bengals. They're 4-2, but they're gonna be 4 games behind the Steelers if they win Sunday Night Football. Yeah, and Lamar being out is huge because this football team does not want to drop to 1-6. So there's zero. So the stat is there's 0% of NFL teams who went 1-6 made the playoffs. So and like with that division, the Steelers are heading that division right now, and then the Bengals are right behind them. It's gonna be tough for the Ravens to come back and win that division, and it's gonna be tough to fight for a wild card spot. Because the AFC is it's gonna be competitive. AFC standings. Let's see that. Because right now you got Colts with 6 wins. Why did it do that? Okay. Got the. I don't know why I did that. Standings. You got the Patriots at 5 wins, Steelers at 4 wins, Colts at 6, Broncos at 5, Chargers at 5, Chiefs at 4, Bills at 4, Bengals at 3, Jaguars at 4. That's already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 teams that are above 500. Yeah, so 8 teams above 500 in AFC, and there's only 7 wildcard spots. So, look, I mean, right now, if the season ended, playoff standings now, playoff picture. There we go. Playoff picture right now is interesting because the Colts obviously will have the 1 seed. The Patriots would have the 2. Broncos would have the 3 seed. The Steelers would have the 4 seed. 5 seed would be the Bills. 6 seed would be the Chargers, and the 7th last wild card spot would go to the Jaguars. And then on the bubble, it's if the playoffs started now, the Chiefs would be out of the playoffs. So that is not a very good thing. But thankfully the playoffs don't start now. But the Ravens, if they lose this game, they can basically write off playoffs this season. and I don't see how they win this game, honestly. Well, without Lamar, and they're getting Roquan back, which is good. I just don't see them winning this game with how bad their defense is playing. They could shock people. It's just that their defense ranked 30th in passing efficiency, rushing efficiency, pressure rates 28. Like that's one of the worst defenses in the league, if not the worst. So it's really, really, really gonna be gonna be tough. Lamar's out, obviously. Ronnie Stanley did not participate in practice Friday. Good news: Colin Hamilton was a full participant. Marlon Humphrey was. Roquan, so they're gonna be back. Help us boost their defense a little bit. On the injury side for the Bears, Kyler Gordon's out, Roschon's out, Braxton Jones is out, Cole Kmet's out, Tyreek Stevenson's out. DeAndre Swift is questionable, but he was limited Friday on practice, so he should be okay. Yeah. So the Bears got some injuries too themselves. Caleb's been playing decent football with the Bears over their 4-game winning streak, and Ben Johnson's really got him going a little bit. One thing I gotta say is, like, if the Ravens want to win this game, they gotta have Derrick Henry going off, and they have a chance. They have a chance to do that against the Bears. The Bears are 19th in rushing, and Bears defense is number 29 in rushing outside tackles, which means they're susceptible to the run outside. And they can get Derrick Henry going. That'd be good news for the Ravens. The Bears as well. They've been playing. DeAndre Swift's been playing really well, and they've been able to get Rome Odunze going, which is really nice. And I'm just checking some of these stats real quick. Team leaders, team defense, stats again. So they have rushing yards before contact allowed, and the Bears where are they? The Chicago Bears. Chicago. Where's Chicago at in here? Oh, it's 31 in the league in rushing yards before contact. So Derrick Henry could have a very big game. Yeah, but the Bears stop Derrick Henry. I don't think they'll have too much of a problem with Tyler Huntley. And that defense getting some key pieces back for the Ravens is going to be huge. There's no must-win game for the Ravens if they want to keep their season alive. The Ravens are favored actually. I think it was before, even with Lamar out, they're favored by 2.5. So I don't know what the books see, but I do not see the Ravens win this game. I think they're going to drop to 1-6, unfortunately. The Bears, I think, going to win this game. I think they're going to win 27 to 15. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I think we're going to see the Ravens try their hardest to win this game, but it's just going to be ultimately too much from the offensive weapons that Chicago has, and not having Lamar Jackson is going to hurt them. Next up, we got Buffalo and Carolina. Buffalo and Carolina. Bills are coming off of a bye week. The Panthers are somehow 4-3. Coming off some good games. I mean, they could barely beat the Jets last week, which not very good. It shows that team does not is not a very good team if you're barely beating the Jets. Who are 0-7. We'll get to them in a second. But yeah, they're without Bryce Young, who doesn't really matter as their quarterback. I mean, Bryce Young wasn't playing amazing football either, so um, somehow they got some string of lucky wins together, um, and and they're the 9th seed in the NFC. They're 4-3 going against the Bills. There's not much to say in this one. This is just a mismatch because the Bills are about to dominate them. I have the Bills win this game 30. No, I'm gonna go 35 to 35 to 10. I think the Bills are gonna blow the Panthers out with Andy Dalton there. They don't really impress me on offense. The Panthers do. Their defense can be good against the run. I just think Josh Allen's gonna light them up all over the field. I'm taking the Bills here. Next, we got the 0-7 New York Jets at the Cincinnati Bengals with Joe Flacco. Had an amazing game on Thursday Night Football last week against the Steelers. We'll see if he can get it going again against the Jets. Shouldn't be hard against this Jets team. Even though they're getting Quincy Williams back, who's been a big factor on that defense before he got hurt. The Jets have defensive pieces. I've been saying that all year, and everyone knows that. It just can they play well together. Sauce Gardner getting hurt is not good either. I think he is out. Yep, he's out on a concussion. Cam Jones is out. Kenny Nwangu is out. Not too crazy. Garrett Wilson's also out. So and Tyrod Taylor's out. So Justin Fields will get the start for the Jets. After what their owner said about Justin Fields or about the quarterback situation, I don't expect Justin Fields to have a good amount of confidence, but he doesn't have social media, so that's good for him because he does not want to see what his what the owner team is playing for said about him. But eventually he did hear it, so that's gotta be. I don't even know what to think. Justin Fields knows he's not playing well. We'll see if he can play well today. It's gonna be hard, especially with Garrett Wilson, his top receiver, being out. So he's gonna have to rely on his other receivers. With Allen Lazard, Arian Smith, Mason Taylor, they're gonna step up. Breece Hall is gonna have to step up as well. So it's gonna be really, really interesting to see against this Bengals team. This Bengals team played a really good game against the Steelers, and Joe Flacco is not losing this game. He got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins going. They had their best games of the season last week, and I expect the Bengals to do that again. I expect Jamar Chase to get a lot of receptions again, and I expect Joe Flacco to get it to the receivers. That's what you have a veteran quarterback for. He seems like he's learning the system well. He seems like he prefers being here than in Cleveland. I think the Bengals win this one. It's going to be 25 to 10, I believe. 25 to 10, I got the Bengals. So this week we have 7 1 o'clock games and 3 4 o'clock games. Because a lot of people don't buy. The 4 o'clock games 3 4 o'clock games aren't really great. I feel like it's better to have 4 o'clock games. I feel like they could move one of those 1 o'clock games to 4 o'clock slot to have 4 o'clock games and 6 1 o'clock games. I think that'd be okay. But it's hard with 3 4 o'clock games because there's a lot of times where especially if you're watching Red Zone, the ads will overlay, so they have to kind of have filler things to filler things while the ads are going on those games. So I think 4 is perfect for 4 o'clock games. They should always have 4 games there. It does mess up, especially with doubleheaders on Monday Night Football. I mean, I think that's cool, but I'd rather have a 4 o'clock game slot for one of those teams if there's only 3 games in 4 o'clock window. But regardless, we got the 5-2 Niners against the 2-4 Texans, who desperately need a win. They don't want to drop 2-5. It's going to be hard to keep up with the Colts if they drop 2-5, and they don't have it easy, especially against the San Francisco 49ers. The Texans are favored at home. I know they're home. They got a really good defense, one of the best in the league, actually. You saw that firsthand against the Seattle. They really clamped down on Seattle most of the game. They did allow some of those touchdowns, but mostly because their offense couldn't get anything going, and their defense had to be on the field most of the game. I don't expect any defense to win many games if they have to be on the field like 30, like 45 minutes out of the 60 minutes of game time. So, yeah. The Texans, though, if they can figure out their offense, they could be a good team. It hurts. It hurts with Nico Collins being out, and it hurts Christian Kirk's being out as well. Their top wide receiver is out. As we know, the 49ers injury report is very long. Ricky Pearsall's out again. Bryce Huff, their DN that's been playing really well, is out. Yatir Gross-Matos is out. So we know 49ers has injuries. They're 5-2. They're fighting for the division, and they're top of the division right now. So credit to them. Mac Jones playing well in that system. Their defense has shown up with all the injuries they have. This is kind of a tough one because I feel like at home the Texans can get some offense going. It just depends on their O line, how well the Texans O line plays, because they played horrible last week, and DJ Stroud had maybe half a second to think about what he wanted to do, which caused him to have Aaron throws, which caused him to throw the ball early. Yeah, the Texans' offensive line is a big problem right now. And I don't know if I trust them to beat the Niners right now with how the Niners are playing, even being injured. I think the Niners handle business here. I think they go in 6-2 and stay atop the NFC West. I'm gonna take the Niners here. I think it's gonna be 21 to 10. I think it'll be an 11-point game. I think the Texans will put up some points, but ultimately it won't be enough. The Texans badly need this window to stay alive. Yeah, if you got anything you want me to talk about or anything, just please feel free to comment down below, and you know, I'll answer the questions. All right, next up we got Cleveland and New England with Greg May. Greg May has been playing really good football. Oh my god, I've heard today Kurt Warner came on the podcast, and he said that Greg May was the best deep thrower in the NFL, and that his deep throws were like handoffs basically, which is high praise. And just looking at his deep balls this season, Drake May has been going off. Like he's been so accurate in the game. He's been amazing this season. He's putting the ball in his receivers' hands. He's finding his open receivers. He's had like 3 games in a row. Only had like 3 or 4 incomplete passes, which is actually insane to have this much of a jump from a second-year quarterback. So, yeah, Drake May's playing really good football, and their defense is playing decent enough to complement the offense. They complement each other, and they found Keyshawn. Drake May loves his booty. So, yeah, that's a good connection going. They need to get Stephon Diggs going a little more. They've been able to the past couple of weeks. He's been getting more catches. That's good to see. But the Browns coming in with the best defense in the NFL right now after last week, because the Falcons dropped 2 and Browns went back up to 1. But their defense is really gonna have to put pressure on Drake May because he's been playing amazing. If they can't put pressure on Drake May's gonna dot him up and it's gonna be a blowout. Dillon Gabriel needs to get the ball to his receivers. They just need to do what they did last week. Quinshon Judkins needs to run the ball well. It's going to be tough against this Patriots defense. They have a really good pass rush, and they can play good against the run. So it's really going to be important for the offensive line to push these defensive tackles off the line, get a little push back, at least 5 yards or something, and push these defensive linemen back before they get penetration. Get open holes for Quinshon Judkins, and it will make life easier for Dillon Gabriel to complete passes and have a chance at this game. It's in New England. Cleveland Browns had a good win last week against the Dolphins. They completely dominated the Dolphins, so shout out to them. The Patriots I think they're gonna win this game though. Sorry, Browns. I know you had a good game last week, but Drake May's just playing at a alien level. Um, I think the Patriots are gonna beat the Browns 30-17. Like I said, we got our last 1 o'clock game. Uh, Giants at the Eagles in a rematch of that Thursday night football game where the Giants destroyed the Eagles. I know the Eagles want to win again. Want to beat the Giants after getting destroyed by them a few weeks ago. Um, Giants are 2-5, should actually be 3-4, but they kind of choked the fourth quarter of that game. They were up 26-8, and let the Broncos get 33 points in the fourth quarter, which is insane in itself. And Jackson Dart had the biggest mistake of his rookie season, throwing an interception right to the defender, and sparked the Broncos offense, and they came back and won the game. And a big extra point was missed. Otherwise, that game would have went to overtime. Jackson Dart, though, regardless, Giants fans should be happy. Jackson Dart's playing really good football. Cam Scadaboo's a beast at running back. He's playing really well. That team's been gelling together really well ever since they moved back to Jackson Dart as a rookie. Um, and the Eagles, without AJ Brown, how's their offense gonna look? It looks like their offense was working the last 2 weeks, but we'll see how AJ Brown being out affects that. I still think they'll be effective in the pass. It's just gonna be interesting because Giants D line is really really good. Um, Obviously they didn't get the job done against Denver. Otherwise, they'd be 3-4 right now. But the Eagles, they have a chance again to upset the Eagles, especially if their offense stalls without J.J. Brown being there. Devontae Smith's going to have to carry the load. And with Saquon not really doing too much on the rushing side of things, they really have a chance if they get the pass rush on Hurts, force him to check downs. The Giants really have a chance here. I'm interested to see what that offense looks like again, because can they be consistent for 3 weeks in a row? We will see. And at home, but I do like the Eagles in this one. I think their offense will be just good enough to squeak by the Giants. I know I like the Giants' defensive line so much though. I think they're gonna get pressure on Hurts, but I think Hurts will have the answer. And I think Saquon might have his best game of the season here. So we'll look out for that. But I got the Eagles winning 28-21. I think it's a be closer game, but I think the Eagles do win. Next up in 4 o'clock games, we got some okay ones. 2 out of 3 could be blowouts, including this one. That Dallas Denver game is gonna be really good, but there's 2 of the 4 o'clock games that, you know what, I don't understand. Instead of Indianapolis Tennessee, you could have had Giants Philly. I wouldn't be mad at. San Francisco Houston wouldn't be bad either. And that's really it. Yeah, Jets Cincinnati maybe. Nah, I don't think anyone wants to see the Jets. But anyways, we got first 4 o'clock game here. Tampa Bay at New Orleans. Division games, so division games are always tough in the NFC South. So hey, the Saints could play really, really good football and take down the Bucks. I wouldn't mind that. But the Bucks are favored by 4.5 points. Tampa Bay is injured. Mike Evans had a big injury. He's gone for most of the season now. Yeah, Chris Godwin's out too. Bucky Evans out again. Hassan Reddick's out again. Their guards, Luke Haggard's out. Vita Vea is questionable and did not practice on Friday, so it's a good chance he won't be there again either. So that hurt a little bit. And Mike Evans obviously out for the most of the season, so he's gonna have to rely on Ibuka, and Ibuka's been amazing. The Saints, on the other hand, Spencer Rattler has not played great football, but he's played solid football. He does not turn the ball over much. He protects the ball and he gets to his receivers. He just doesn't do enough to keep drives going, and that stalls them, and that's why you see the Saints losing constantly, and it's why they're 1-6. Their defense, on the other hand, hasn't been playing too great either, which is a combination of things. If their offense stalls out, their defense is not going to play well, then there's a reason they're 1-6. Tampa Bay, even without Mike Evans and Godwin, uh, you've seen Baker Mayfield's been playing amazing football. Just lost on Monday Night Football. Had a bad showing against. What did I want to say they played because they played the Lions. Yeah, the Lions dominated them. They put pressure on Baker Mayfield and played tight clamp defense on their receivers. Didn't help after Mike Evans went out because they clamped down on receivers after that, and they just really shut down the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense, even though they had plenty of chances to come back in that game. Yeah, the Buccaneers is gonna be interesting to see how their offense goes, but they have a get right game in New Orleans. New Orleans is not a great football team. Uh, I know this is a divisional game, and the Saints could very well upset. Uh, I like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers here. I think they're gonna win this game, 25 to 17. I don't see the Saints winning it. Spencer Rattler's gonna play okay football. I don't know if it'll be enough though to overcome Baker Mayfield if he scores 30 points. Yeah. All right. Next up, we got one of the games of the week. Dallas at the Denver Broncos. Denver coming off obviously 33-point fourth quarter and an amazing way to come back and win that game. I don't even know how they did it. It's actually crazy. Really, really crazy that they won that game. But they're going against the number one offense in the NFL, and Dak Prescott's been on fire. He's got CeeDee Lamb back. Sky's the limit for that offense, and if you're the Denver defense, you should be scared after allowing that many points to the Giants. Dallas might come in there and force a shootout. And I don't know if Bo Nix and the offense is ready for a shootout. Right now in the odds right now by DraftKings, Denver's favored by 3.5. They're at home, that's why. But Dallas got this team. Dak Prescott's got this team offense going. Their defense is not very good. Their pass rush is not there anymore, obviously because they traded Mike Parsons. But yeah, their pass rush is the weakness, and their whole defense, regardless, has not been playing good football. Denver, on the other hand, their defense can play good football at times, but they haven't been consistent enough. They gave up 26 to the Giants, or well, actually, they gave up 30 plus to the Giants, and their offense stutters at times. They're not consistent on offense. And if they don't do that against the Dallas and Dallas starts scoring to get their offense going, it's gonna be a long day for Denver. This could potentially be a blowout if Denver can't keep up with Dallas's offense. And I do like Denver's defense. I just think they're not consistent enough right now, and they need to figure out what they want to be as defense. And that's why I'm going to take the Dallas Cowboys here. Maybe an upset, but I think they're lined when I put the bet in. I think the Dallas Cowboys were they were favored by 1. So we'll see. But I got the Cowboys here. I think it's gonna be a close one though. I think it's gonna be 28 to 24. It's gonna be really close. 28 to 24. I got Dallas. Last 4 o'clock game here, we got the Colts at the Titans. The Titans have not been playing good on offense. I heard it from Cam Ward himself last few weeks ago. Daniel Jones got the Colts rolling. Potentially could be a trap game for the Colts because if they don't underestimate any team in the NFL. Titans are 1-6. They're not a very good football team. Jeffrey Simmons might be out as well, and I think for sure he is. Yeah, he's out. Jeffrey Simmons is out. Arden Key is questionable. Count Ridley's out. Their guard's out. So yeah, that's gonna be tough on the Titans. I don't see the Titans win this game at all. Colts are playing really good offensively and defensively. They're 6-1 for a reason. They're explosive. And I don't think the Titans are going to be able to handle that. I think the Colts are going to win this game 35-10. I don't see a chance for Titans, unfortunately. And then we got the game of the week, Sunday Night Football, Packers at the Steelers. Rodgers playing against his former team for the first time, I think. Yeah, is this first time? I think it's the first time playing the Packers since he went to the Jets. Because I think he got injured. Because when he got injured, his Achilles busted. They played. I think the Jets played the Packers that year. I don't remember. Let me check. Yeah, for the first time ever, Aaron Rodgers faced the Green Bay Packers. Yep, his first time ever. So this is gonna be a fun game. If Steelers defense looks like they did last week, it's gonna be a long day for them. But if their offense can't go in and keep up with the Packers, they can get going. Jordan Love can be inaccurate at times. We've seen that. He still hasn't. You think figured it out right now, but sometimes he just airmails some balls and overthrows his receivers. And sometimes when he gets pressured, he will not know what to do and either scramble and then throw an inaccurate pass or throw it out. So we'll see how well Jordan Love plays in this game. If the Steelers defense can play good defense, this is going to cause havoc for Jordan Love. But the Packers defense is really good, obviously, with Micah Parsons. And I think they will get a couple sacks on the Steelers on Aaron Rodgers because the Steelers have been let up sacks on their quarterback this year. Um, man, this is a tough game. The Steelers are at home, and Aaron Rodgers, I think, will be ready once to show Green Bay Packers that he's still a good quarterback. Oh man, it's about to be a fun one. I got the Green Bay Packers here though. I think they're just too good of a team right now. And the Steelers defense is concerning to me. I mean, either we'll see them either we'll see them allowing 30 plus points to a team, or we'll see them shut down a team and go 50, shut down a team and completely dominate. So I don't know where the defense is consistent enough. Again, I don't know if the Steelers defense is going to do their job. I get the Packers here though. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be 21-17. And the Packers take one at home. I mean, away. All right, then we got Monday Night Football. Last game of the week. Washington Commanders at the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know what to say. Jane Daniels out. That Commanders defense has not been playing good football at all. Yeah, Kansas City is going to roll them. I just don't see a chance for the Commanders in this one. Maybe being on prime time helps them get a little momentum, maybe a little bit, but I think they'll still think Kansas City rolls them. Mahomes got its offense back. He's got Rashi Rice back. They're explosive again. They figured out their offense. They're hard to stop. They might just go on a run right now, and the Commanders are not going to stop them. I got the Chiefs going 35-13. Kid Chiefs win. But yeah, that is my game picks for Week 8 of the NFL season. I forgot one last game. Falcons at the Dolphins. Obviously, I just told you beginning of the podcast. Kirk Cousins will start for the Falcons. Michael Penix has a bone bruise in his knee, so they're being really cautious with that. So he'll most likely start next week against the Patriots. But Kirk Cousins will play tomorrow against the Dolphins. And the Dolphins have not been playing good football. Tua is not playing good football, and somehow they're starting him still. This is at home in Atlanta for the Falcons, and I think Kirk Cousins will get that offense going. This offense has been inconsistent at times, but I think Bijan Robinson will get going. I think it's going to go over 100 rushing yards, and I think Kirk will air ball out and get it to his receivers. And I think we handle the Dolphins at home. I think the Falcons do win 28-10. I think we're gonna beat the Dolphins pretty sure-handedly here. I do really like our defense. Our defense is top 2 in the NFL overall. We have the best passing defense in the NFL, so it's a tough game for the Dolphins, especially Tua. It's not a good game for Tua to be throwing around like he's been doing. He's been throwing interceptions at a high rate, and I feel like we're gonna get 2 or 3 picks here. Look at some insights. Falcons have blitzed on league leading 47.8% of their opposing dropbacks. Tua's gonna get pressured and he's gonna make a lot of mistakes. Yeah, so I take the Falcons here. Of course. Hopefully we win. This is one of those games. The Falcons can either be really good or they can make it a close game and make people have heart attacks because they let the Miami Dolphins almost win the game. I don't know. We'll see. If we lose to the Dolphins, I do not know what to say. I will not call us a good team. But yeah, appreciate you guys for watching the podcast as always. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Any questions about your favorite team or anything? Q&A session starts now. So before I head off, if anyone has anything they'd like to talk about NFL wise, do let me know. Otherwise, I'll be back Tuesday to recap week 8. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. As always, if you missed it, recap obviously is posted on YouTube. Eventually, I will get this on Spotify and stuff so you guys can watch on the go. But yeah, appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Thank you for watching the PI Podcast. Make sure you subscribe and tune in next time so you don't miss the latest news in the NFL world. You can also follow us on TikTok at PI Podcast and on Twitter at PI Podcasters. Until next time.